All right, Sean, let's wrap up this USC talk with a little talk about Lincoln Riley. Former Trojan, national champion, running back tandem with Reggie Bush. LenDale White comes out, and I mean, he was going off during the game last night. He started with, makes sense a shitty team couldn't win a shitty bowl. We got, do y'all ever practice tackling, or is it always about offense? And I truly don't know why I'm mad. I knew better. My fault. 20 years of fucking bullshit talking about what you're talking about with the physicality. Maybe one day I can see him in the playoffs. Maybe one day doesn't look like anytime
We're not
soon.
good enough.
Yeah,
we're not good enough.
We just lost to a weak-ass TCU. So that means we're sorry as fuck. I mean, that's just a former Trojan who comes from the last time it was a truly winning program year after year after year, and what we expect from the USC Trojans.
Okay.
So my question to you is, Lincoln Riley, he's seeing this stuff. We see the same thing. He kind of had the same thing at Oklahoma with the physicality, the defense in the Big 12. He could score 45, but he'd give up 35. And then it's kind of been that way at USC. So is Lincoln Riley the right man for the job?
It's such a valid and great question, a great point. And my guy, LenDale White, he's passionate. But he cares. But Segs, that's how LenDale may have described it a little different than others might. Anthony Munoz would approach it a little different, but you get the same message in a more calm way. But Lenny knows that's how LenDale played. Knock you in the mouth. LenDale was, you didn't put it this way, and he had some wiggle, but LenDale was never known as a finesse guy. Right. And we loved it and loved watching him play, and everybody loved it. And LenDale was a stud, and I love his passion. That's my dog. And he's right. See, Segs, I'm cutting him slack. I said, that's who we've been for 10 years. It's been a lot longer than that.
Yeah.
Sans the time when Lenny played and had all the guys there, right? And we were winning. We could finesse you with Bush and line up, but we could also line up. If we had to run it 10 times, we could. And that's the way you want it to be. Your question about Lincoln Riley. Now, Segs, when people say this, when you get asked a question like that, there'll be some that, you don't feel you want to hurt Lincoln's feelings. I think Lincoln Riley's a hell of a good dude. And I had a chance to meet him, engaging. And listen, if you want to sit down with 15 of the brightest offensive minds and their thought process over the last 20 years, you have to include him.
Oh, 100%.
You just do. You have to include him. But then it draws the line is what we're doing head coaching part, or listen, if Lincoln Riley was if he was coaching quarterback, calling plays for the Giants and Jackson Dart, calling plays for the Raiders, they'd be better offensively. They just would. He's a brilliant play caller. Now, there are times when we get a little too predictable and we play a little bit too sideways at times that I would do things different. But he's got a great feel. You cannot question. You can question the timing of some of his calls, like you can every coordinator, but you can't question his understanding of how to attack a defense. He's pretty damn good at it. But the thing that is missing, Segs, is whether it's his attack and what they're on the practice field. That's why I never know. Well, what do we, from a distance, it's so hard for me, but I can only deduct from a distance that we're not preaching physicality. You may say it, but are you living it? That's the difference. I can sit here and say, I want to be a billionaire. I want to win Powerball. I want to turn my business in this. But if we're not going to work or doing stuff that's not just on the show, off the show, or if you're just going and showing up to practice and not doing other work, or showing up at your business and you're a salesperson and you work 9 to 5 and you don't make a call outside of work or go visit somebody, you're probably not going to be very good at it. So are we just chattering about we want to be physical? Because Segs, I keep going back and I keep going back and I keep going back. Is it the head coach, or is it the philosophy the head coach brings with him that you automatically think, look, there's nobody in the world that thinks, now they want to run it. Like Mike Leach wanted to run it. Yeah. He wants to run it. McVay, that spread, the college guys, the whoever it is you're leaning on, Jeff Levy, they all want to run it. Lane Kiffin, Sarkisian, we all want to run it because we know the value of it. But Segs, with this, I can only get to a point of saying, at no time in his life will he ever be accused of commitment to defense, even though they may say it, and a physical team. Now, you want to go beat somebody in 7-on-7 frat league or football like this when you're just going out and letting it rip and it's a shootout up and down give me him. I'll have it all day long up and down the field. But then it gets down, we got to get 3rd and 2 and 4th and 1, and we can't do it. It's got to be a mentality check. It's got to be the fact that going in, our expectations are just score 40 and the rest will be okay. Because I look at Alex Grinch's past. He was freaking good.
Yeah.
Oklahoma did some nice things when he was at Washington State, why he got at Alabama as an analyst, all those things. And then I start to look, and I'm thinking, how can this continue to happen that for 30, 25 years, we've been described as a finesse team? So is it Lincoln? But when does it stop? Where does the guy finally say the buck stops here? I don't give a shit what you say. We're throwing it 22 times and we're running it 40 and we're going to tackle him. If you don't tackle, you come sit by me. I don't care where you're from or how much we're paying you. When does that accountability come in? Because you can't tell me we don't get good players. But you know what, Segs? When's the last time you described a USC team to me? Just to me in our last 12 years, decade. When's the last time you described me when you walked in, saw me and said, man, Sean, I'm talking about consistently, not a one game or one half. You said, that looks like old SC.
Yeah.
Physical. I'm talking about the physical part. But what do you always, what would you always say when you, man, boy, they got some offense, dude. They can score. Got great receivers, team speed, make some big, see the catch in the end zone last night by the young kid. Another great play. And the quarterback, and then the quarterback will throw it into coverage. You're like, well, what are we doing here? And to feel like you got to drop back and get in the gun and throw it on 3rd and 1, John Robinson will be turning over in his grave, as will John McKay. So I you know what? I'll tell you what. He's the right guy to call plays. We can't help but question, is he the right guy moving forward, and who is for what USC brings to the table? We are a physical program that likes to add finesse. That's what we were. And I don't care that it's 20. Things don't change. No, it doesn't have to change. Who's going to win the Super Bowl this year? The most physical team. Philadelphia did last year. All the things. And then they were able to have some great finesse. Super Bowl teams win because they hit you in the mouth harder than you hit them, and they can take a punch better than you can. And then if you get a quarterback play, I've said it a million times. So, Segs, I get to the point where I think he'd go give him a place where they throw it 45 times and it's all pretty, yes, and he gets good quarterbacks. I just don't think in their soul that he knows how to command physicality. And him and about 35 or 40 other coaches in big-time football that are finesse as well. But there's got to come a point in time where you're either physical or you're not playing for me. Yeah. That has to come. And in a 7-on-7 NIL soft, pussified area of score 40 and we'll give up 38 and hope we win is not for me. I love Lincoln. I do. I'd rather have him as my offensive coordinator than my head coach, judging from our consistent lack of sustained physicality. Take a look. What did I just say?
Yep.
That's why I said, is it the coach? Clay Helton? Is Lincoln Riley? Who is this guy? Who is that guy? And then it hits Pete Carroll and John Robinson and stops. Who is Paul Hackett? Who was anybody else? The list goes on.
Yeah.
That is as telling a statistic. They say, well, you wanted Clay out. Dad was an offensive line coach too. Clay's dad's a long time. You wanted Clay out. Okay. You bring in finesse and boom, throw it all over the lot. 35-18. How many national championships Lincoln won at SC or at Oklahoma? How many? What those things? You keep getting. I mean, that quarterback guru, Heisman trophies, first round picks. You offensively, you want him. Oh, no doubt, you want him. But this is as telling as it gets. So when you're bitching about complain about what they bring to the table coming in and the culture they create, not what they're doing on game day, because everybody screws up and they do it. It's what's in your soul, not right. We're a cosmetic football program right now. That's who USC is. And Lincoln Riley, I hate to say it, he is the talk of the town when you walk into the party, brother. Man, we can throw it. Hey, let's go over here and have a real conversation. Let's sit down and talk about how you guys are down 2 touchdowns, and now let's talk about how you're going to attack. Well, we're still learning to do that. That's the response. So I'd rather you learn how to call finesse plays and be a physical in your soul. I'd rather have soul be physical, finesse be cosmetic.
Yeah. I
would rather have been the other way around, because the other way around will get you 9 wins and you'll upset somebody. But there's no way we can roll through Ohio State, even Indiana. Dude, Indiana's more physical than us.
Yeah.
Now, hear what I'm saying about this. Mendoza wins the Heisman Trophy.
Their head coach. Look at Kurt Signetti. Watch Kurt Signetti do an interview. He's like physical in the interview.
Right. Look at the guys. Kirby Smart. Defense, be physical. The rest will take care of it. They won 2 national championships with a walk-on who wasn't even supposed to be playing there.
Yeah.
And he was the MVP in both games. And he could get, he was the MVP in both of those national championship games, right? So I just say I could go on, and I think it's obvious, but to answer your question, love Lincoln and like to buy him a beer. I'd like to buy him a beer and say, what are we teaching that allows coach after coach after coach? Is it the organization, or our recruits in California just not as good as they used to be? What is it? Or when they walk in the door, they automatically think, because if I walk in the door, you know what I'm thinking as a quarterback? We're going to finesse him to death. I'm going to be a first-round pick, and I'm going to win the Heisman Trophy. I'm not walking in the door saying, I'm only going to throw 25 times a game, but we're kicking your ass.
Yeah.